Willis making the next key meters now, and Tamak releasing them out the back, and Ramos joining. And they've still got extra men on the outside if Francois Crowe chooses to use them, but he doesn't, and the link play is absolutely sublime. It's as if they've got double the number of players on the shoulders sometimes, and who's the man to finish it? Obviously, there's a bloke called Antoine Dupont.
Brilliant timing, square tackle needs to be made, you need to do better, but that keep the ball alive, and like I said, always back on the inside, you know you've got that extra man.
What about the trust from Francois Crowe as well, to just throw that offload back inside, knowing it's there?
I mean, it helps when you win the contact like that, and I think it's one of those things where if that's your mindset, you know a player's going to be there, and if it's one of those ones where you always look to give it, and more often than not there's a player there, it's great. However, if your team who doesn't train it and doesn't play it and doesn't believe in it, if you throw an offload, that could just go to the floor. So it's about everyone buying into the system you want to play.
One try against Ulster. Issued a gentle crossfield apology to Juan Cruz Malia to say sorry, a little bit heavy from me. Transfer is good, and it's gone to the back where Exeter Chiefs have not got the numbers to try and defend it, and it's try number 2.
Yeah, very clever play by Toulouse there. We saw in the Mouls 2 plays earlier, 2 penalties earlier, that Exeter were going a little bit earlier.
Kick chase wasn't great, but now Lebel has found himself eventually tracked down by Henry Slade, and 1 for 1 they start to make the hits, but then on a superb run, how on earth has Pierre-Louis Barassi found this open turf? He's looking for the options. Lebel will pop up again on the left, running back in field, heading straight under the posts. Lebel has pulled off a ridiculous score. Backwards to look for the options, and once again Barassi just decides to go round the houses, then finds his way through.
It's just brilliant, isn't it? Barassi just takes a moment, he pauses, which just opens the defence up in front of him, takes his time to assess the options, and that is just fantastic footwork. Step around the big men coming back, trying to absolutely melt you. Look at the awareness, look at the intent on the face to go. Everyone thinks for all money he's going to run that into the corner, and Lebel just lovely little duck and dive, knows that he can slide on in from 3 metres out.
Fair old collision on the ground as well, wasn't it?
I think it's also the buy-in.
It might be just coming back on the Chiefs side, and Townsend says, well, if this is what I've got to do to try and get hold of it, then I will. Roots. Lebel came in on the hip to avoid that pass getting out to the wing and any further. Now, Feiwa Boso. Oh, it's the offload game from Exeter Chiefs. Stu Townsend finding Tommy Wyatt, and that'll do to bring the noise from Sandy Park.
As you see, really nice hands from Feiwa Boso. Roots, I thought it was isolated, fantastic clear out, and then looks like they're going open, making something from nothing. Support on the inside, lovely little keep ball alive, lovely offloading skills.
Also critical, Feiwa Boso's ability to always break the first tackle to keep that alive.
Yeah, brilliant, and that is very much off the cuff, isn't it? That's not a pre-planned, that's look, let's find the space and keep the ball alive and match Toulouse at their own game. But that try is so important, we expect.
Dupont.
The intent and the ferocity of this Exeter defence is fantastic.
Dummy runners. Netty. Move! Shifting on both feet. Everybody's got a stepping game if you're in a Toulouse shirt. And then the miss pass to find Flamand. Well, there's nobody there. And the big man, famous for having played in Loughborough fifths.
I've got that one. 4.
Yeah, it's a really good initial defensive set, isn't it? Like I said, the ferocity, you've got to fold around the corner. Everyone knows. Fold round the corner, 2 round the corner, especially when you've got Flamand holding out on the wing.
On that last one.
And the pass selection from Dupont, absolutely fantastic. Hodges trying to make the read on the short runner. Has to guess, doesn't he, if Willis is there.
Marchand is over it, but he will make way because Meafu's going to be the big man.
Onside.
Played again, Roumain back in for Dupont, pumps it once, then just wants to find his outside centre, Pierre-Louis Barassi, who along with a try against La Rochelle early in the season.
Yeah, they really have been, haven't they? Lovely little play. Good carry on the 4, good presentation, gets it back. Flamand, lovely hands, and then you just have to sit on Dupont. You cannot bite on the first pump because he's just looking for a defender to make the read. Feiwa Boso goes past.
Advantage.
Toulon already with an advantage in the Exeter Chiefs 22, looking to pick up where they left on. Dupont quickly through the midfield. It's just going to be a simple run-in. Ramos will play it away. Lebel will finish it off. And welcome back to the turf. Stade Toulousain. Lebel second.
See Dupont just scooting a little bit. Really nice width of pass. Fantastic stop and give. So often you see attackers take it to the line, but when the defence are rushing, especially in that 22, you don't need to. You can just hold your feet, get that ball away. No need for Ramos to pass, but he just thinks, you can have it, mate. I'll make this conversion even harder, give myself a little bit of a test.
Manife were both so, but the volume goes straight up here. And he looks to try and get through the first tackle again, which he half manages to do, despite giving Ramos the chance of a bite at it. Now then, can the Chiefs make it work here? It's going to be Tommy Wyatt on his fight once more. Simple draw and pass from Dan Frost.
Really nice work from Feo Urbosa, just straightening, keeping that ball alive. In the first half, that ball would have stuck. Malia on the outside, he'd have gone the length, but lovely little spin out of the contact from Frost. And great timing of the pass to put Wyatt away into the corner.
And I think in those past 2 minutes, they've taken Toulouse on at their own game. They've kept the ball alive. And actually, Toulouse have struggled to recover, struggled to get back in that defensive line. And Exeter have made real good gains in behind them. And of course,
there was the apology earlier from Roman Ntamack.
Onside.
For Juan Cruz Malia, he got that one right, but not quite enough room for Lebel to get through that time. Dupont has a look. Goes short side again. Just stays on the ball long enough to just square it up and make room for the men outside him.
Coaches say when they say square up, really good defensive shot. But as you come around the corner, see how Dupont just squares, draws in the last defender, and then it's just really simple hands down the corner. Just the delay on the passing, absolutely fantastic. When it is your day, it is your day. And that is a brilliant finish in the corner.
It's heading back down short sides, isn't it? It's picking on tired defenders who haven't quite realigned, and then it's all about a numbers game.
Hodge is inside, has a word with his fullback, but he fancies a little run himself. Townsend for Roots. Roots releases it out the back. Hayden Wood. Then Tua. Oh, look at the straighten and get the offload away. It's gone to the toe of Hodge. However it gets there will be fine. From an Exeter Chiefs point of view, the finish from Hodge. Anything you can do, Toulouse, we can do too.
Got their numbers a little bit wrong on the outside. Normally you've got somebody coming back against the grain.
And I think from Hodge, good experience not to try and grab the ball, let the ball fall, kick it. And possibly if you're away from home, that may have gone somewhere else to have a little look, I think.
It was a question of whether it hit the ground.
Point!
As a contest,
Sit!
there may not be too much left in it, but as entertainment, absolutely bundles. Oh, the big dummy. That's absolutely sublime. And then the ball away for Ntamack, who is just racing his way over. Well, relatively untouched. Not bad for a back. Marchand lodging himself onto the back of that maul once more. They've got penalty advantage as well. So into the middle, Choco Barres, and then lift it over. Ramos running at Hodge, getting the release away. Try number 9, Blair Kinghorn runs it in.
Again, it's just the width of pass for me. The stop and send from Ntamack. Timing of the pass from Ramos. Kinghorn would do really hard not to score that. Just the ability to whip that ball out as he's coming out the back. From Ntamack, and then when you've got men holding width like that on the outside, it's really difficult to cover.
Another collision on Crow, and then Flamand driving.
Now.
2 metres. Little bit more width. Choco Barres unable to deal with it. Did it go forwards? They're going to play on, and they're going to give another chance for Kinghorn, but he did well to stay in field. The offload good enough though for Grau to get over. It will be try number 10. Oh, has that gone forwards from Wyatt? It has, with the clock ticking into the red, and that will bring an end to it. You could say it brings an end to the contest, but the contest, well, it was over some time ago.